faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, no, not up, look down. Look at that. Okay, so perhaps I've dated myself with this silly beginning to this video, but it certainly speaks to the power of the Japanese knotweed. What is so powerful? This thing can punch through concrete, tarmac, and bricks with one incredible thrust. It's Japanese knotweed. This is an area. It looks pretty torn down, I guess. However, look at that, even here. And there's new growth to the Japanese knotweed. So I'm out here today and I'm root digging. And I'm also going to gather some of these sprouts. Now, why would I want to do that? High quantities of resveratrol in the root. Incredible support for the immune system. Hang on a sec, I'm just going to sit down and make myself comfortable. So this is incredible support for the immune system as it has so many flavonoids. Vitamin A, vitamin C. Japanese knotweed has numerous minerals which include calcium, copper, iodine, iron, manganese. Oh gosh, there's just so much more. Potassium, phosphorus, you name it. This is an incredible plant. Now, there, let's just leave it here for now. Once I take these home and I clean them up, there's no way I'm going to just toss these into compost, because they will spread, and they will spread quickly. And I'm certainly not going to be a part of that. But get this. Medical science. Hang on here, let's see. Medical science. See, I've already dug one up here, if you see it. There we go. And here's the root. Right there. Anyways, medical science, as I was starting to say, has conducted some preliminary, or actually not preliminary, they have done preclinical trials. And what they have found is that the resveratrol has been shown to possess numerous biological functions which can be applied to the prevention and treatment of so many ailments, including cancer and cardiovascular disease. But wait, it gets better. There were some researchers that analyzed the potential of these guys, as well as 13 other plants. And they were studying killing the Borrelia burgdorferi, and the results were published in the journal Frontiers in Medicine. There was a great article about this in Medical News Today, and I'll put the link below. Let's see, there we go. But in a nutshell, this research shows that 2 plants in particular have the highest antibacterial activity directed against the Borrelia burgdorferi, which were the Ghanaian quinine and Japanese knotweed. So that leads into a bit of a tick talk. So we don't want to wait until we have been bitten by a tick and we have Lyme disease before we're looking for this to help us. We want to get this now and have it on our shelf just if in case. And this is why I'm out here today, so I can make myself some tincture. And I'll do another video and tack it onto the end of this one to show you how to make a tincture with Japanese knotweed root. So, having said that, if you have a tick and you need it to be tested, please go to genetics. I will put a link below. Jason is an incredible individual who has a private lab and he tests ticks. So be sure to find out more information about his website and his services at the link below. But now, time for me to get doing a little bit more digging for some more roots. Let's see. Look at this. It just goes on and on and on forever. So, well, I broke that off. Oops. Anyways, there. Time to do a fair bit more digging. And I'll be back to show you more when I get home. Let's see, we've got lots of other plants here too. But, see, check out this. This is last year's. It's just like bamboo in a way. This is in the buckwheat family. There, look at that. More new growth. Hang on. It's hard to see, it's very sunny, and there we go. These guys are gonna come home and be on my dinner table tonight. Anyways, off I go to get my work done, and I'll see you in just a few moments. Okay, so I'm back home. This is what I got this afternoon. I got lots of root. Although once I get rid of a lot of that earth, there may not be that much root. See, because you can see it right in there. There we go. And look at that. So my next venture is I have to clean this up, and that's going to take me a while. And these I got to clean up as well. And I'll show you what's left after this has been cleaned up. Okay, so I've cleaned up these roots. I may have to do it again, but that's okay. And I wanted to share with you just how extensive some of these root systems can be. For example, you can see last year's growth right there, or what was last year's growth. And check out all this new stuff coming up. Hang on here, there. Check that out. There's just so much of it. And here, I really don't know what this is. You can see the white growth. I don't know whether that's new roots forming or whether it's the actual vegetative part of the plant. But I notice there's a fair bit of it. And again, there's last year's in with this year's, and it's absolutely, it's quite a remarkable plant. You can, when you see it like this, you can truly understand how it can grow through everything. And there was a lot of root I couldn't get because the root was about 1 inch in diameter. My shovel wouldn't get through it at all. And this is almost 1 inch diameter. I have to say though, it is a very pretty color. And it certainly does make tea that is orange in color. Okay. Like this is really heavy. You can see here's a root right here, going into here. And it looks like a dandelion's trying to make itself at home here. And this is the last one. No, second last. Here's our second last. From a very thin root right here. Very thin. Look at all the growth coming out of the one small area. Okay, now this is huge. Again, there's your orange root system. That would be the main root system. These are all secondary roots. And I've been so extra careful to make sure none of this has hit the ground. This gets into my soil, you know it's going to be growing later this year. There's no way I want to do that. So check out all the growth from last year. And you can tell my husband got that one. I did the root digging. He went and did the vegetable picking. He got the easier job, but that's okay. I just certainly appreciate his help. So yeah, get the root going in there. And this right here is massive. I know there's no way I'm going to get much of that right there because it's just, I need a super tool for that. Actually, probably my hacksaw. Okay, so this is some of the root. And what I will do once I've totally cleaned up all this root and I've chopped it down into a nice size, I'm going to add this, or I'm going to place the chopped up root into a mason jar. I'm going to add some vinegar, or not vinegar, I'm going to add the vodka. Actually, I should do some vinegar too, because what better way to add nutrients to your vinegar? But my main purpose is to make a tincture, because the tincture is medicine. And once I've made a tincture, it's going to sit on my shelf, and it can sit there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I'll always have it on hand in the event that someone has Lyme disease. So there we go. Japanese knotweed root. It may be a menace to many a gardener and to conservationists, but in terms of what this plant can do for our health, all the resveratrol in these roots, it's a powerhouse of medicine for us. And a great tasting vegetable too. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. It truly means so much to me. Thank you.